Azuma Nelson and Jeff Fenech. Let's go to ring announcer Jimmy.
Soil, the undefeated Jeff Fenech. The Warrior Azuma Nelson. Here's your referee.
From his longtime trainer Johnny Lewis and Joe Cortez waves them together. Here we go. Azuma Nelson in the white trunks and Jeff Fenech in the black. Nelson's style, he is a slugger, very similar to that of Julio Cesar Chavez, will wear his opponent down with an accumulation of body punches. Meanwhile, Fenech, very aggressive, likens himself to a young Roberto Duran, but unlike Duran, does not have hands of stone, Ferdy, more like hands of bone.
Well, they're fragile, but you can see what we talked about at the top of the show. Fenech will not give you motion. He will stand right in front of you, challenges. He tells you, I can hit you harder than you can hit me. That's a bad equation when you're talking to Azuma Nelson, who has got howitzer hands.
Nelson describes himself as a combination of Lee and Frazier, skillful boxer as well as a ferocious puncher. Fenech, too, a very rugged, ferocious style. His hands are actually misshapen with protruding knuckles, and he is very vulnerable.
He's going to have protruding jaw if he sticks it out like that. He just got hammered by Azuma Nelson. Rough stuff going on. Joe Cortez right on top of the story.
Joe Cortez out of New Jersey. A big left there, glancing blow by Nelson.
Nelson cannot complain that he doesn't have a target in front of him. I keep repeating, it's awesome to see a guy standing right in front of Azuma Nelson. Azuma Nelson has a great many more tricks and techniques than does Fenech, who fights on courage and raw power.
Nelson says Fenech's a good warrior, but this time he's bitten off more than he can chew. He said he's going to vomit. Azuma, very graphic, Ferdy.
Well, we will see. It's the first guy to get in that good shot that may take this fight away, because right now they're throwing bombs.
Come on.
And it's only round one. That left snapped Fenech's head around.
A man whose courage has never been questioned. Jeff Fenech comes straight ahead. He wants this. He wants a brawl. He's going to get it from Azuma Nelson.
He's undefeated, 25-0, 19 knockouts. His last fight, January 19, 1990. Fourth round knockout of Johnny Colvin in Australia. But he hasn't fought much in the last couple of years because of the hand difficulty.
2 years is a long time to be off. A lot of ring rust, although his hands should be well healed in 2 years.
Even took up rugby for a while before getting back to boxing. Nelson's last fight, March 16th, fourth round knockout of Daniel Mustafa in Spain.
They're trading heavy body blows right now. Hard shot by Azuma Nelson. Made Fenech wave in the breeze.
A right by Nelson that tagged Fenech in the head.
No question about it. He felt that. He felt that all the way down to his leg. The cost of gambling on a body attack.
Round two. This is for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship, currently owned by Azuma Nelson. His sixth title defense.
Bring out, please. Bring out.
Azuma, the son of a tailor. He's also become an influential businessman. He's one of the largest trucking company owners in Ghana. Great combination by Nelson. Those had some zip to them.
And now it's Nelson that's showing his technique in motion. He's moving around. Fenech trying to stay in front of him. This is the boxing expertise of this champion. Oh, he got hit.
Nelson off balance and Fenech looking to take advantage, but could not.
The technique that I speak of is a motion that Azuma has still got in the 32-year-old legs. He can't keep up with a Pernell Whitaker, who can, but he can confuse a guy like Fenech, who wants you to stand still and fight.
Fenech, a bubbly, charismatic former street fighter, extremely popular down under. Usually fights in front of sellout crowds of 15,000 or more in his homeland.
Fenech has not learned his lesson. He went to the body again, leaving his head wildly exposed, and back came Azuma with that hook. Didn't have the same effect, but it's there.
Fenech's trainer, Ferdy, Johnny Lewis, says Fenech is the most loyal guy in the world who would die to save a friend. But he can also be the cruelest, most terrifying, most vicious person alive.
Inside the ring, I hope he amended. Well, most boxers are that way. Most boxers are nice most of them are kind people outside and almost gentle people outside. Inside the ring, it's something different. You can't find a nicer guy than Azuma Nelson or Boza Edwards from Africa either. Same kind of guy. Inside, devastating.
Africa has produced its great champions. It's Dick Tiger, you mentioned him. David Little Poison Cote, Ayub Kalule, and Cornelius Boza Edwards, and Azuma Nelson in that category as well.
Second round a little bit lighter than the first round in action because Azuma has chosen to give him a little motion, make him work a little bit for those shots.
Combination by Fenech, missing. Nelson looking impressive here over the course of the first 2 rounds.
Fenech showing a little bit of that Aussie street fighting. He didn't wait for that break. He just went right into it.
He's from Sydney's tough inner-city Marrickville, the son of poor Maltese migrants.
Good motion by Azuma Nelson. He put in 3 or 4 hard shots and then sprung away before Fenech had a chance to retaliate.
The wind has died down considerably. It was gusting up to 30 miles per hour during the Riddick bullfight, but it is still quite warm. It's almost 90 degrees, I'd say.
I would say that that's cool for Azuma Nelson, who just seems to be enjoying this outing and almost having his way with Fenech.
It is round 3, scheduled for 12. The WBC Super Featherweight title on the line. Good flurry by Azuma Nelson.
Fenech, getting nowhere with defense, decided to just kind of outpunch Azuma and got more in return from Azuma Nelson. Although Fenech has got to fight, that's got to be his defense. He's not a good defensive fighter.
Fenech's anger at the world tamed by his trainer Johnny Lewis, a soft-spoken songwriter who taught boxing at a neighborhood youth club. Solid left there by Nelson. There's the best punch by Fenech all night.
That's the best one. There's another one real hard. That one shook Azuma.
And the crowd feeling that maybe Fenech had Nelson on the ropes.
He didn't have on the ropes, but he certainly wobbled him. He certainly wobbled Azuma. Azuma's in a defensive stance on the ropes, taking everything that Fenech wants to get.
Fenech continues to press the attack. Big turnaround round here for Jeff Fenech of Australia. But also missing wildly. Digging into the ribs is Fenech. Now he goes upstairs.
He's missing a lot, but a lot of those are landing.
Watch out this side, guys. Watch him in. Come on, work out of there.
Now back comes Azuma Nelson.
And that's what you call fighting off the ropes. 4 or 5 hammering shots from Azuma Nelson. But Azuma has been taking a pounding as Jeff Fenech is taking this round.
Ferocious in close fighting in the corner just above us. Some monster punches.
You don't need the rest of this ring because they're in about 2 feet square and they're not moving. Look at the action.
They've been in this corner for over a minute.
Again, Azuma in a little bit of trouble.
And Fenech continues to be the aggressor.
But he's paying an awful penalty coming in. He is winning this big, but he's getting hit an awful lot. Is Fenech.
Keep on.
And now there's blood.
All right, let's go.
And let's see if they can pick up where they left off. It is round 4.
I think that cut is more on the nose than in the eye, but his whole facial tissue seems to be getting all boggy. There seem to be too little cuts. There's going to be a lot of red blood in this fight.
Fenech undefeated, 25-0, 19 knockouts. Nelson 33-2 with 25 knockouts. His only losses to the late great Salvador Sanchez and Pernell Whitaker.
Well, Boza took the first. Azuma took the first 2 rounds. Fenech big in the third.
And Fenech looking extremely confident. Again, he's backing Nelson into the ropes. Same spot again, 30.
Same spot.
Blood all over the nose and under the left eye of Jeff Fenech.
Again, Azuma chooses not to move off that spot. He must like it. He took a hammering there in that last third round.
As if there's a magnet above us.
Cortez is saying fight your way out, but actually, what more can you ask for these 2 guys than to fight? They're not tying up. Again, Azuma chooses not to move away.
Break out, come on, get on, go. Come on, hit on the brake, don't hit on the brake, don't hit on the brake.
Cortez warning, don't hit on the brake. Again, Azuma stands still.
Now Fenech measuring Nelson out.
Come on, work out of there, come on, your hands are free, let him out, come on, work out.
Fenech is certainly intimidating Azuma right now. Azuma is just not the offensive fighter that he was in these first 2. Maybe he's hurt worse than we think he is. He certainly is not giving him motion nor getting out to where he can have his superior skill come to bear. This is what we want. We're in the trenches. This is what Jeff Fenech wants.
Some bullying tactics there by Fenech, who has really turned this around after losing the first 2 rounds. Now uppercuts with the left by Nelson, but not phasing Fenech.
Except the cuts are getting worse. They're under the eye and the nose. Good, solid punches by Fenech. And now comes Azuma Nelson with a hammering attack to the body, going up to the head and landing. Cortez a little bit too much into this exchange. These 2 guys don't need anybody right now. Fenech's face beginning to fall apart.
Your hands are free, come on, your hands are free, guys, come on.
But he is inflicting punishment on the body of Azuma Nelson in the meantime.
He's landing 2, 3 to 1 and impressing the judges. He's on the offense, but look at this.
That's Nelson. He turns him around. And back comes Fenech.
And back comes Fenech. What a display of guts on the part of both men.
Watch your head, guys.
When's the last time you saw that many uppercuts in a row?
An incredible amount of punches being thrown.
Wow.
¿Cuál es este asalto?
Cuarto.
They're talking about Terrence Ali as the prospective opponent for Julio Cesar Chavez. But back to this fight right here. It is round 5, and it has lived up to its billing.
Well, it's an even fight. First 2 rounds for Azuma Nelson and the next 2 for Fenech, but they were very, very close rounds because don't believe for a minute that he inflicted a lot of punishment and didn't take any. He took an awful beating from Azuma Nelson.
Here's a novelty. They're in the center of the ring.
Well, so long as you don't get next to this magnet that we have here in this corner. It's time for a breather. It's time for a breather. And here they are again.
Fenech on top of Nelson. The same deal. 3 straight rounds like this.
Punch out of there, guys. Punch out of there.
Whoever thought of the term in the trenches was thinking of this when they made up that term.
And in this case, perhaps in the phone booth would be appropriate.
Watch the elbows inside. Watch the elbows. Watch the head.
Cortez, a veteran of many fights, saying watch the head, but he's letting them fight. He's very close to both men.
All right, come on. Your hands are free, guys. Come on. Your hands are free. Punch out of there. Let him out. Let him out, Kaleem. Let him out.
No rest for the weary. Cortez right on top. If they tie each other up, there's no rest. It's all punches.
Thundering right hand by Jeff Fenech that got through.
Oh, work out there. Watch your heads inside. Both of you guys. Come on.
And the in-close fighting rages on.
Oh, work out. Work out.
And we are now trying to see what's going to happen with the heat and the condition. Actually, it is not very hot here right now. It is nice. The breeze is coming up. The shades come up. It should not be a factor.
All right, guys. Watch the man. Watch the man.
What should be a factor is the 2 cuts that Fenech got, and they get worse. Here we go. Again, hard hammering shots by Fenech.
But Nelson keeps coming back.
Oh, work out of there. Come on. Your hands are free.
The difference is that the judges perceive one as the offensive fighter and the others did. Now look look at the rhythm of Azuma Nelson. And back comes Fenech faster.
Fenech like a machine gun.
Ooh, nice hard hammering shots. But here comes Fenech back with more.
Come on, your hands are free. Come on, watch the elbow. Come on.
He looks like he's wearing out. Azuma Nelson does Fenech.
Let it go. Come on,
And that is usually Nelson's strategy to accumulate punches and then go in for the finish.
It is perhaps the 32 years that are showing on Azuma Nelson because he is beginning to take a pounding. Even his arms are starting to lower. He is becoming a target.
Come on, work out. Come on. Come on, hit the knockdown. Get him out.
Final seconds of round 5. It has been non-stop punching. The Mighty Warrior getting set to do battle with the Thunder from down under again. Round 6.
He better start thinking of some way to turn this around. I have him just slipping back one round. He's now 48-47, or 3 rounds to 2, with Fenech ahead. Of course, that is entirely unofficial.
Combination by Nelson, but having no effect.
No, but at least he's not getting pounded in the corner.
The round has just started, Ferdy. The magnet is being revved up. Wild miss by Nelson.
Nelson looks tired. He's getting sloppy and tired, and who wouldn't be after that 3 rounds of pounding in the corner? On the other hand, Fenech looks fresh. Fenech looks like this is what he does for a living.
And coming off 2 tough rounds, the first 2 rounds, he really has turned things around.
The cuts, no factor up to now. Great corner work has stopped the cuts. He's not even bleeding right now.
Good head movement, too, by Fenech, able to elude those punches. Cortez says no holding to Jeff Fenech.
Not that much snap in the punches of Azuma Nelson right now. He could be laying a trap. It's not punching. He's not punching hard.
And Nelson's eyes bloodshot.
Let it go, please. Let it go, please. Hold the head now. Let's go.
Past the midway mark, round 6.
A
Action
breather
not as heated, yes.
A breather round for both fighters. Oh, there he is to the ropes. Let's see if he moves off.
Nelson just tried to get a second win, but Fenech trying not to let up, looking to apply the pressure.
Right there, Azuma should have circled away and into the middle of the ring. He shouldn't. Once he gets around the ropes, just get away. Like right now, don't stand there. Get away. Get in the middle of the ring. Ooh, nice right hand by Fenech. No effect, but nice one.
And these are now pity pat punches by Nelson, having no effect on Fenech.
He's either tired or he's trying to lull him into a hard punch. But they don't. They seem sloppy.
Now using pushing tactics, Nelson. But again, having no impact on the hard charging Fenech. Solid right to the head by Fenech.
Hold the head down. Let it go, clean. Let it go, clean. Come on, pick your head up, pick it up.
A flurry to the head by Jeff Fenech. Fenech again picking up the pace. And he is in great shape.
Should Azuma Nelson be expending this energy, bouncing up and down when he had been so exhausted? That was a borderline round in that Azuma Nelson was winning all along, and then Fenech came in with better. Let's go to the corner.
Very proud of you, mate. You've been a lot in this bloke, haven't you? It means so much to me. Want the towel, Peter? Mate, this bloke's tired, but he's going to put everything into a big left hook this round, okay? Rinse first. Take that, John. Yep. I want to have a drink now, keep the fluids down, mate. It's enough, Peter. Not too much, Peter. Don't force it down like that. It's all right. Feeling good, mate?
Move at the body shot.
Yeah.
You try to move at the body shot. And right hand. You know,
Brisa.
Come on,
Brisa, man. Let's go, Azuma, baby.
And a champion in his own right, Michael Air Jordan.
Everybody's idea of a hero.
leading the Chicago Bulls to the NBA title recently. Now round 7.
Arrested Azuma Nelson should now begin to start boxing out in the middle of the ring and away from those ropes. No particular instructions in either corner, just a little encouragement. Fennick's corner seems to think they're in command, and they are close. It's a close fight. He could be ahead by 1 round or even along about now.
Fennick's 3-time world champ. His first fight on American soil, trying to become only the 4th fighter to earn 4 different divisional world titles, joining Leonard, Hearns, and Duran.
Now this is what they call a go-figure fight. Here's a guy that hadn't fought in 2 years. He looks like he just fought 6 weeks ago. Here's a guy who's 32 years old, and you can't tell whether 32 is too old for him right now. He's certainly not as fast as he was when he began. Those 3 rounds on the ropes have taken an awful lot out of Azuma Nelson.
And apparently those 2 years of rest have been positive for Jeff Fennick. A right hand by Jeff Fennick that stunned Azuma Nelson.
Well, they said he was a warrior. He's every bit of that.
Yeah, he has taken a lot of punishment, and here he goes again. Jeff Fennick on the attack. But this time, he uses the other corner.
Am I glad to see him over there? Finally, I get to see what's happening.
Come on, you're in the free.
Fennick again, turning it on.
Come on, work on it. All right, what day is this time? Come on, guys. Oh, work on.
Many of those punches are penetrating.
Come on, let go. Bring up.
It's not as if he's not getting hit either. It's a give and take with Fennick just landing more and harder punches. What's amazing is they're butting heads. It's amazing that there hasn't been a big cut on either man.
Nelson a stationary target at times. Fennick is landing to the head of Nelson. Fennick opens up and lands with a right.
Oh, look at it. Come on, Yancey. Let go. Come on.
Those are glancing blows off the shoulder by Nelson.
Azuma's just laying traps, but they just don't close. He's laying traps for hard punches that don't land. In the meantime, he's eating a lot of leather.
Round number 8, scheduled for 12. They're battling for Azuma Nelson's WBC Super Featherweight title, and Jeff Fennick in the black trunks, since the end of the second round, has been the man in charge.
In the corner, Azuma Nelson is told, this is slipping away from you. It's still a close fight, but it's slipping away. It's got to be you first. Stay out of those corners.
Nelson trying to set up the right with the left jab, but Fennick is right there and has no problem with it.
And Azuma has lost the snap in his punches. What was there through the first 3 or 4 rounds are now just pillows coming out. He's just not landing that hard.
He punched himself out over those first 2 rounds, and then Fennick took over. And Nelson has absorbed a lot of punishment. Again, the bullying tactics by Fennick.
Azuma must stay on the run. He cannot go to the ropes.
Nelson has exerted a lot of energy under this hot desert sun, and he's 32. And so far, no signs of any hand problems in terms of Jeff Fennick.
Well, if they are, he certainly is stoical about pain because he's thrown him with everything he's got. And the cuts, I repeat, are no factors.
Great job in the corner. The cut man is also Johnny Lewis. Fennick.
Come on,
Fenech never runs out of gas.
Or evil intention. And there they are on the ropes again, and it's Fenech's round again. Again, Azuma doesn't move away like he should. They should be telling him that in the corner. Get off those ropes. When the referee breaks you, use the referee. Get between him and the fighter. He move away right then. He didn't. Now he's back against the ropes.
What an outstanding exhibition here by Australian Jeff Fenech. Having his way now with the champion Azuma Nelson. And very light on his feet, dancing around.
Work at it, guys. Come on, work at it. Your hands free. Work at it.
Nice inside uppercut by Azuma. Not enough.
The first solid punch landed in many rounds. And round 9. Let's see if Azuma Nelson can reach back.
He's got to do something better than he's done, because Fenech has been in command. Even though it's close enough on points that it's still within reach, but he's got to have something impressive going. He has Azuma Nelson. Let's watch.
A lot of dancing around by Nelson, expending energy.
He's got to do something to keep this guy off, to get him to trap on the ropes.
He has not been able to solve Jeff Fenech.
What seemed to be a tremendous advantage for Azuma, that Fenech just stands in front of you, turned out to be a disadvantage.
Nelson really on his bicycle now, but so far not getting anywhere as a result. Fenech just waiting for his moment.
Azuma Nelson's punches, as I point out to you, watch them, they're pillow punches, they're old man punches. They don't have that zip anymore. He's a dangerous man. He may be husbanding his energy, but right now, he is not punching with the same authority as Fenech.
Fenech rated number 1 by the WBC, but on the threshold of taking the title away from Azuma Nelson.
Let him out clean. Let him out clean. Let him out clean.
I just cannot count Azuma Nelson out until the 12th round. I mean, I have seen this guy come back and win so many times.
All right, bring out clean, bring out.
Joe Cortez of New Jersey, the 3rd man in the ring.
But Fenech has lived up to all the billing I've been hearing from Australia and New Zealand. All the people down there tell me this guy is great. And so far he has been today.
The only Aussie ever to hold more than 1 world title.
Hey, if they had him in Gallipoli, they might have won that.
That's right. He became a world champ in only his 7th pro fight, won the IBF bantamweight title back in '85.
Again to the ropes.
And he's got Nelson on the defensive once again. Nelson trying to battle his way out.
But hitting nothing. But hitting nothing.
They did a superb job with those cuts on Fenech's face.
They have. We keep mentioning it, but you have to. He had such, it looked like such trouble at the beginning and nothing. Not a bit of blood.
Very soft punches, if you can call them that, by Azuma Nelson.
No energy punches.
Well, Fenech has to be tired too, but holding his own.
Fenech looks like one of these wind-up dolls that's going to do this all night long.
A human windmill.
Yeah, it's like those batteries, that ad for batteries.
That was after the bell, and that really irked Fenech. But it was difficult to tell, really tough to blame Nelson. It sort of came midway.
Yeah.
And in the words of Johnny Lewis, you got him, mate. To the ears of Australian Jeff Fenech. The bell sounding, but Nelson is not yet ready to resume. I think they're looking for the mouthpiece. It's buried in the bucket. And Nelson says, let's get it on regardless. And Cortez is trying to hold things off.
I have never seen anything that inept. I have never seen. They look like they're fishing for crabs in the bucket.
Very bizarre.
He just said in Spanish, look in your pockets. The guy said, no, I don't have it. So the great disappearing mouthpiece has befuddled all these people. Now they're trying to say, well, what happens now? He says he fights without it, I think. No, this was not lost during the round. Some cornerman took it and in his nervousness put it in his pocket, and that was Buffalo Martin.
They found it, and we are ready to continue. Round 10.
The case of the disappearing mouthpiece.
Very unusual. Well, Azuma got some more time to get ready.
I think that probably helped Azuma, made him mad. He had put the mouthpiece on with all the funky things.
Oh, Cortez got hit by accident by a Fennec left.
Cortez can take a great punch. We've seen Cortez get hammered before. He takes good. It's his body shots that he doesn't do well with.
We have seen a little bit of everything here in this fight. What is left? Nelson showing some pizzazz here.
Yeah, he's finally showing a little bit of snap, but it may be just too late. We're in the 10th round, and Fennec is on a streak.
Looks like Nelson will need a knockout. He's going downstairs and up, but Fennec once again off.
Dirty stuff by both guys, but Fennec rubbed his laces all over the face of Azuma Nelson. Things are getting tough here, folks. They said this was a tough street fighter, and that's what this is. Jeff Fennec is some kind of tough guy. They said he would have been a big hero had he been on television. I can tell you, he would have been a big hero here if he fights like this.
He's been on a couple of times to the United States, but it's the first time he's fighting in North America.
And of course, with a quality opponent in Azuma Nelson, who is getting handed to him.
And a chance to get some big money fights if he should prevail here tonight.
Back to the ropes. If you noticed, there is where Fennec, not once has Fennec been against the rope. Not once. It's always Azuma taking punishment against the ropes. And that is the story of this fight.
Ever since the end of the second round, it has been all Fennec. Wild exchange in the corner, but Fennec landing most of those blows. Back comes Nelson with a combination to the head. And Fennec is making contact.
Well, he's punching 20 and 30 times before Azuma gets untracked with one punch. I mean, that last series was a huge amount of punches. First time Fennec has felt the ropes at his back. Oh! What a shot!
Round 11. This is for Nelson's WBC Super Featherweight title.
And it is beginning to look more and more like Azuma Nelson just may need a knockout to win here.
Fennec in total command.
Fennec has been the aggressor. Fennec has been the man that lands 3-4 punches to one.
And you talk about ring generalship, it's as if Fennec came up with the expression. Again, Fennec equal to the task at anything that Nelson throws at him.
No, again I point out to you the soft nature of Azuma's punches. At 32, it perhaps time to think about something else. They just aren't there. That's just not the Azuma Nelson I'm used to looking at. He is not punching with authority.
This could be the decline of an era. Azuma Nelson, two-time world champ, former WBC featherweight champion, currently the WBC super featherweight king. He'll be 33 July 19th. Champion for 7 of the 11 years he's been pro. What an outstanding career.
A decent, honorable man, but tonight he is meeting a ferocious man from down under. Relentless is the word that you have to apply to Jeff Fennick's attack.
Let him out clean, let him out clean.
Fennick's been waiting 2 years to show off his skills in the United States.
Break out, let him.
He's got Nelson backing up again.
And buckling. Backing and buckling.
The consistency of Fennick is what is so impressive. It started early third. It hasn't let up.
It's almost as if we're in the third round. It's the same type of strength, the same type of energy, the same type of punching power. This has been an amazing exhibition of willpower on the part of Jeff Fennick. He has imposed his will on Azuma Nelson, who's caving in.
And Fennick continues to be on the attack. Here we go. They touch gloves, round 12. Only 5 of Fennick's opponents have heard the final bell. So that is some tribute to Azuma Nelson, but he is going to have to do something really big here and knock Fennick out.
And he seems to sense it. He's going with everything he's got.
And Fennick comes back in frenetic fashion.
Fennick seems to love that better than anything. Fennick has, caution is not a word in Fennick's vocabulary. Somebody hasn't told him he's way ahead here. I mean, he's fighting like he's behind.
Really, all he has to do is stay away, but that's not his style.
No, this man knows only one thing. What courage and what determination and what force for Jeff Fennick. I thought it was going to be the fight of the night. So far, it has been.
Fennick coming forward most of the fight. And some good head movement there by Fennick, showing fine defensive skills. And again, you can't say enough about the cut man, Johnny Lewis, doing a superb job with Jeff Fennick under the left arm.
And here we are again in our corner.
Sounds so romantic. Well, it's appropriate. It was this way most of the fight. Maybe it'll end this way.
Break out, let go, come on, let go.
Overhand right by Nelson, that miss. He is going for the bomb, no question. That's all he's got left now.
And it doesn't intimidate Fennick. He doesn't want to get away. He wants to stay right there.
Now he's backing Fennick up. But Fennick comes right back.
It's going to take a tremendous counterpunch, one of those lucky punches to stop Fennick. And it doesn't appear that Azuma Nelson has the power to carry that out.
Well, we've seen just about everything in this fight. Anything's possible.
Well, if this is the end of Azuma Nelson's career, he's had a long and honorable one, and he has been a fighting gentleman. One of a long line of warriors to come out of Africa, and he's going out in style, right in the corner and punching as hard as he can.
He will still be a hero in his native Accra, Ghana.
And let us remind you that we're talking very cockily, but we don't have the judges' scorecards.
Fennick all over Nelson.
Azuma fighting from memory, but it's now history.
What a fight!
Of boxing, we have a split decision, and here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Jerry Roth, scores the bout 115-113 for Jeff Fennick. Judge at ringside, Miguel Donate, scores the bout 116-112, Azuma Nelson. And judge at ringside, Dave Moretti, scores the bout 114-114, a draw. The decision is even a draw.
Oh, goodness, that is mind-boggling. And look at the reaction by Jeff Fennick. He is in total disbelief. No way, he says. It's a draw. So the champion, Azuma Nelson, getting the benefit of the doubt from the judges here. And Ferdy was right on the button. He said, you never know here with these judges in Las Vegas. Unbelievable.